Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your patience, but what a beautiful day we have to be outside. I'm Mayor Ralph Becker, and I want to welcome all of you and thank you for joining us today. We're here, obviously, to both celebrate and recognize a really great activity in the city. Wells Fargo, who's with us today, if you couldn't guess, continues to be a great city partner and an engaged and concerned part of our business community. And I want to extend my thanks today and that of our community for their continued investment in Salt Lake City. So thank you. And I say that on behalf of Salt Lake City, but I also want to recognize that representing the council today is Councilmember Lisa Adams, who's joined us for this event and has been a great supporter of our 5,000 Doors initiative. And that 5,000 Doors initiative called for collaboration with housing partners to develop innovative programs to address our most challenging affordable housing needs. And this exciting new program is going to help us achieve those goals. As our city continues to experience this fabulous growth and increased vibrancy, it's critical that access to housing for our residents is not limited to income challenges. This grant that we're recognizing today is an additional Neighborhood LIFT grant money that's awarded to our nonprofit partners to help execute 2 new Salt Lake City housing programs. And it will go a long way in terms of making really great strides in achieving the 5,000 new affordable housing opportunities in the next 5 years. So our thanks go as part of this, obviously, to our partners who we'll be visiting with today, the Road Home and the Community Foundation of Utah, that's helping us implement these innovative programs. So the grants that we're talking about today fall in a couple of categories. One is the Housing 20, which is the first strategy in the city's 6-point homeless services strategy. The Housing 20 program was developed with our partners at the Road Home to create 20 new housing units for the top 20 most vulnerable homeless city residents. The recommended additional funding from our Housing Trust Fund, or we're recommending that we receive an additional funding from our Housing Trust Fund to fully fund this program for 2 years. That's part of our budget, as I recall. The Road Home will provide rental subsidies and case management services. During the 2 years, permanent housing solutions will be identified for these 20 homeless individuals. Removing these individuals from our streets will reduce time and cost from our emergency rooms, paramedics, and police that are all part of our host program. So the second program is the Affordable Housing Rental Subsidy Program. That's part of what we're discussing and participating in today. And that's a part of the Neighborhood LIFT funding, and it'll help subsidize new development of multi-family housing for the low-wage earner. So in Salt Lake City, as I think all of us who follow what's going on in the city know, we have extremely low vacancy rates in the city, and the demand for quality urban living is very, very high. Our multifamily building permits are at an all-time high in the city. Market rates for these units have grown year after year and have far outpaced personal income growth. An individual today making $9.70 an hour and working 40 hours a week would fall into the 40% of the AMI category at about $20,216 a year. An individual or household, by standard measures, should not be paying more than 30% of their income towards housing costs. At 40% of the area median income, one would have a $505 per month available for housing costs. And to put this in perspective, the average rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in a new building is over $900 a month. The pilot program that's been developed by our Housing and Neighborhood Development Division under this great leadership of Mike Ackerlow to my right, and our partners at the Community Foundation of Utah, would offer developers an incentive for providing the city with a new rental unit that is affordable for the low-wage worker. So we're leveraging these grants with other funding partners. We've recommended that our Salt Lake City Housing Trust Fund match the funds raised with the goal of raising $1 million for this effort. In addition to the 20 households that will initially benefit from these affordable rents, units would maintain the lower rents for future low-wage earners. We are obviously working very hard to try to encourage a mix of incomes for all of our multifamily units that are springing up all across the city. So in summary, both populations represent the hardest housing to finance. The total amount of the investment that's going into long-term housing opportunities for extremely low-income individuals and family in our city is going to allow more people who otherwise would be forced to find housing outside of our city to live in our city and support the sustainable and livable community that we're trying to assure for everybody who's here. So with that, I'm pleased to introduce, to discuss the specifics of the Wells Fargo support we have, Dee O'Donnell, who's the Wells Fargo Utah Region President, and she's going to be announcing this grant and the recipients of this great program we have with Wells Fargo. So Dee, thank you for joining us.
So thank you, Mayor Becker, and also thank all of you for attending this really exciting announcement today of how we can all make a difference with homelessness right here in our communities. Homelessness is an issue in our communities and one that should be addressed. And today, Wells Fargo is so proud and honored to stand right here with Mayor Becker to announce that the Road Home and the Community Foundation of Utah are receiving NeighborhoodLIFT grants totaling $500,000 to help prevent homelessness in Salt Lake City. I want to thank those representatives. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations to these two worthwhile groups. Thank you for the representatives that you have today for these nonprofits. You do amazing work in our communities, and these grants are going to enable you to even do greater work in our community. The grant recipients were selected in close collaboration with Mayor Becker and the city's Division of Housing and Neighborhood Development. To help address the local initiatives that are in our community, they really include homelessness prevention programs. Along with these grants, we're also very proud to announce that our Wells Fargo team members have committed to rolling up their sleeves and volunteering their time and talents to also help homelessness. They're very excited to get involved. And don't forget, for those of you who are looking for available grants, we still have some grants available in our NeighborhoodLIFT program. So far, right here in Salt Lake City, we have donated over $1.6 million in down payment assistance to help people purchase over 111 homes right here in Salt Lake City. We still have some grants available. We have about 70 grants available, so they can help you with that down payment that you need to purchase your home. Your dream of home ownership can come true. Please visit any Wells Fargo office or www.neighborhoodlift.com for more information. We can all make a difference. You're here today because you also care about us making a difference. It's working together as community stewards, as business leaders, and as volunteers. At Wells Fargo, we hold a tradition here in Salt Lake of working together with our neighbors. With small steps come huge impacts, and we're so delighted about these grant recipients today and the work that they're going to do to help prevent homelessness in Salt Lake. Thank you so much, and remember, working together we'll all go far and make a difference.
So we have some little checks coming forward to reflect the...
So congratulations for the Community Foundation of Utah. Here is your check for $200,000 to make a difference in helping eliminate and attend to preventing homelessness.
Thank you.
Yes. Here is also a check for $300,000 for the Road Home. Thank you for the great work that you're doing on homelessness as well.
Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity.
So thank you all for being here today, and we're going to stay a little bit longer for any interviews or photo ops that you'd like to have. Thank you again, and thank you, Mayor Becker.
Thank you.